After 30 years of absence, Yoying Pimentel visited Maisog in April 2007. Unexpectedly, all the love that she felt for the village where she grew up came back to her and decided, without second thoughts, to help the people live a better life. "47 hectares of Maisog is owned by Sisters Sylvia and Yoying Pimentel. It was in November 18 that the sisters donated 1 hectare to the community, where a core shelter of 60 houses were built. There are about 360 inhabitants, 75% of which are children. Maisog, meaning fierce and strong, is a 2,495-hectare barrio in San Lorenzo Ruiz, Camarines Norte, Philippines. One half is forest land with 5 waterfalls. Like an island, a major river on each side separates her from neighboring villages. Maisog is Camarines Norte's watershed. In November to December 2009, rain fell over Camarines Norte, inundating 11 out of the 12 towns, leaving only the town of San Lorenzo Ruiz above water. Cutting trees for charcoal, kaingin, and the incessant degradation of the forest led to the absence of decent water to drink. Through the efforts of Maisog Watershed Initiative Incorporated, in cooperation with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR, 11 kaingeros are now in jail because of the Forestry Reform Code of the Philippines.
Nung hindi pa siya ma'am dumadating dito, ang mga tao ma'am pring magputol ng kahoy, pring, lalo ma'am sa ilog pring maglaso ng mga isda. Saka ma'am magkaingin nga sila na wala silang pakundangan kung magputol nga. Hindi lang ma'am naisip na yung pala makakasama sa mga nakatira dito sana.
In 2007, the discovery through studies of UPLB SESAM that Maisog is indeed a watershed pushed Yoying to immerse with the barrio folks to learn their way of life. If detailed biodiversity studies will be conducted throughout the forest areas of Maisog for a longer period, its biodiversity will probably equal or surpass those tropical rainforests widely acknowledged as among the most species-rich in the world. Barangay Maisog is projected to represent a significant contribution to the known pool of Philippine biodiversity. On July 7, 2009, the Maisog Watershed Initiative Incorporated was registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, featuring the Maisog Model Township Development Program as alternative to the government's Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program or CARP. The idea is simple: to educate the people in the proper land use of a watershed before distributing the land to the deserving beneficiary, which is the community. The Maisog Watershed Initiative Incorporated, or MWII, is a non-governmental organization that aspires to reduce poverty through knowledge transfer and capacity-building programs. Its objective to improve the value and quality of livelihood in Maisog is summed up in 3 areas of development. First is the forest, to be able to protect it as watershed and biodiversity conservation area through community engagement. Second is the buffer zone, to be able to provide technical assistance to help the barangay develop and manage its agriculture, environment, and natural resources, maintaining its clean water. Third is the community center, to be able to create an extended buffer zone. This includes the following priorities: establish organic farms, go zero waste; rehabilitate the elementary school, add high school; build multipurpose hall, eco-agro-tech school; create and support environmental livelihood projects; expand the site of 60 homes into a wider eco-village; build roads and bridges and other infrastructures; Integrate guest houses into eco-village for tourism. Advertise Maisog as ecotourism site. In March 2010, 28 students of the UP Architectural Laboratory class of ARC 197 under Nicolo del Castillo chose Maisog as their laboratory and resulted to 8 versions of the Maisog Model Township Development Plan.
I was overwhelmed. Sometimes I felt like giving up because there was just too much to do. But there's no more time for that. No more time for being overwhelmed. I just have to go. Keep going because there's too many things needed to make a model township. You have to kind of change the mindset of the people themselves living here to bring them back to love nature, number one.
Ako si Mark Rimbaudi, pinagmamalaki ko ang aking pangalan at ang aking sarili. Ako si Mark Queta, pinagmamalaki ko ang pangalan at aking sarili. Ako si Ramel Rodriguez, pinagmamalaki ko ang aking sarili at aking pangalan.
Shortly after the inception of the program, the Environmental Club for the Children, called Tusok Maisog, was organized by the children themselves. They carried rocks and stones from the river to fix the dangerously uneven and mossy stairs that children and seniors take regularly to go to school. Yoying initially did not allow these, but the children insisted to help and asked what they could do.
Yung isang bata na 5 years old pa lang, imbes yung itatapon niya yung plastic, nilagay dito sa aking bulsa. Isa po yun sa napakalaking pagbabago na alam nila na ang plastic ay nakakasira na daw sa kalikasan. Dahil sa pagtuturo dito kaya nila nalalaman. Yung mga bagay-bagay, ay sa musmos nilang kaisipan, unti-unti na nilang nalalaman ang mga dapat saka hindi dapat gawin dito sa Barangay Maisog. Kaya napakaswerte ng Barangay Maisog.
Pag nakakita po ng basura, tutusukin po yung kaya ng mga plastic po. At pag itatapon po, pag bukod-bukod din po yung nabubulok at hindi po nabubulok.
Sa totoo lang talaga, kahit yung wala lang akong pakialam dyan. Yung kung may kalat dyan, kung may dyan, basta talaga ako sa anak ko lang, sa bahay lang ako nag-aasikaso. Pero ngayon talagang parang nasasaktan na ang damdamin ko pag nakakakita talaga ako ng kalat at yung mga batang walang pakialam, yung mga taong walang pakialam talaga sa kalikasan. Ang unang-una sa aking natutunan ko talaga nung pumunta dito si Ma'am Yoying, yung ang maging concern tayo sa kalikasan.
The children of Maisog not only receive nutrition for the mind, but most importantly for the body. The Sunday feeding program started in 2009 after Yoying noticed that the children seemed to need nutritious meals. This feeding program is a partnership with the Mothers of Maisog, who volunteered to cook and is currently nourishing 200 children. This slowly changed the looks of the children due to the fact that each child was required to bathe before nourishment. Hygiene lectures started for the kids and parents. Not all the people in the village believed in these projects instantly. Slowly, faith grew among the people after seeing their children improve in their manners and behavior at home and in public, through their learnings at Tusok Maisog Club. Holistic renewal of the forest is not solely for the people of Maisog. MWII's main program is in fact Maisog Model Township Development Program. This will help educate the neighboring towns in reviving old traditions such as respect for elders and nature, bayanihan, love for family, and sustainability. For a successful forest protection program requires involvement of the locals in several projects, understanding, patience, hard work, and self-respect.
First time ko siya mamakita dito kay Ma'am Yu, yung parang hindi ko gusto yung ano niya dito sa amin. Ang tingin ko sa kanya, yung parang kontrabida ba siya, pero di ko nakita sa kanya na siya pala ay mabait tapos makamasa.
The mothers of Maisog had the initiative in involving themselves in the Ladies' Organic Vegetable Empowered Garden, or Love Garden. They plant organic vegetables, which they also consume.
Dati ma'am, mga gulay ma'am, yung ma'am pechay, tapos ma'am yung talong, sitaw. Marami ma'am. Basta ang paliwanag niya po sa amin, basta yung tinanim namin, kami ang unang kakain. Tapos kung sumobra, saka kami magbebenta. Kaya ganun mang nangyayari hanggang sa ngayon. Tapos yun nga ma'am, nagmahal baga ma'am ang bigas, sabi niya sa amin, kaya sabi niya kung magtanim kayo ng palay, upland rice ma'am.
Yoying alone cannot sustain her projects in Maisog. Through Facebook, Yoying Pimentel came up with creative methods for funding from her friends and even strangers who just wanted to be able to help. Like-minded people from all over the world sent bigger contributions to support projects such as breeding horses for the use of future forest marshals. Another breakthrough happened in March 2010. After receiving a call from Maisog about the effects of El Nino in the upland rice field, Yoying, with the help of engineer Rodel de Guzman of Siniloan, Laguna, brought water 34 meters or about 10 floors up to the rice fields from the creek below. Local teenagers took the responsibility of seeing the progress of this project by engaging themselves as respectable members of the Maisog Banat boys and girls and of the community.
And these are the Banat boys. All they want is to play basketball. And so I give them uniforms and shoes. We get contributions from our friends to help support their sports. But in exchange, they have to do something for the community. So, for example, what Engineer Rodel and Engineer Martinez are doing to bring up water to the upland there. See how layo that is? Lessons that Engineer Rodel de Guzman is teaching the kids already kicks off our technical school. Here, you can see that the boys are learning how to make a ramp pump, which will bring up the water to the top where we need it without use of oil or any fossil fuel. So no kerosene, no electricity, and no gas needed to bring up the water.
Kami po nung bato na hukay po kami, tapos una po inipon namin yung mga bato, tapos nagpila-pila, tapos isa-isang inaabot para lang mapadali po yung pagtrabaho. Marami po akong natutunan dito sa pagiging Banat Girls. Nadidiscipline po ako bilang Banat Girls sa organization po namin.
Eco Camp is a special project that brings together college students of the UPLB and Maisog youth for 5 nights camping at the foot of the Abasig, Mananap, Matognon Natural Biotic Area. These college students share their knowledge in forest protection and biodiversity conservation through various workshops, while the Maisog youth act as forest guides as the campers explore the sources of water that feed the lowlands. 9 out-of-school youths who participated at the Eco Camp were inspired to go back to school. The installation of the ram pump was an answered prayer for Maisog. In fact, its publication on Facebook earned them half of what they need for its completion. Through another big donation from Hong Kong, the project will be able to start a technical school through the building of a machine shop where out-of-school youth will learn and earn. In May 2010, volunteer teachers from Manila private schools who brought their own supplies and materials engaged the children, young and old, to realize their own potential for artistry by allowing them to express creativity in the summer art school. The subject is most often the environment and how to protect it. One activity was rock painting. These rocks served as tokens to donors who believed that a better future is not impossible under the Maisog Model Township Program.
Art, yung mga palarong pambata po. Salamat po kay Teacher Abby na nagtsatsaga nagturo sa amin at kay Teacher R po na nagturo din po sa amin.
The people of Maisog silently scream words of graciousness through their smiles. In a short span of time, their lives made a 360-degree turn because of the generosity of the volunteers. Most of them proved that indeed, change begins from an act of random kindness shared with others.
When I arrived here, I was really touched because the kids really are very talented, and yet they don't have any materials to use to really show their best in art. I wish that all the documentations that we are having today will be shown to the people who are really supposed to help these kids, because they are really so talented and yet they are deprived from showing their best, their talents.
It starts from here, in Maisog, and then to a nearby town, and shortly, the country. The Maisog Model Township Program longs to be successful in its mission to preserve its species-rich land and empower its people to become knowledgeable, smart, and strong soldiers of the environment. For when it proves victorious, other people, other towns, and the nation as a whole can do this too. Maisog breaks her silence. With more helpful hands, this silence would hush the loud cry for sustainability of the already existing projects and those that will be developed later on. You can help too. You can be part of the mission to change the lives of the children, the adults, and the members of the local government units. You can lead the way in bridging the barrio of Maisog to its neighbors and eventually to major cities to encourage people to continuously engage in organic farming. You can make Mother Nature smile at us once again by sharing a piece of your generosity to the people of Maisog. You too can break the silence.